Welcome back to First Things First. We're going viral. Last night, the NBA Finals broke Twitter. From JaVale McGee's failed dunk to JR's game management. But what happens when the players actually read tweets about themselves? Here's the latest edition of Mean Tweets from Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Draymond Green's jump shot is almost as ugly as his face. Almost. It's a damn good-looking jump shot.
Ben Simmons might have the most boring voice I've ever heard.
I hate Glenn Robinson, man. What a
What'd I do to you?
Jimmy Butler has my most hated player in the league award. Ugly. What the is that on his head? He looks dirty as
De'Aaron Fox looked like an auntie in the face.
Stevie Wonder shoots free throws better than Andre Drummond. Oh, that's straight disrespectful. Come on now.
Scottie Pippen has the face of a man that's been through some.
I need someone to blame, so I'll go with Old Faithful. This is all Kevin Love's fault.
All right, the De'Aaron Fox one is funny.
Yeah, man, all of them are very, very funny. Yeah, I watched all those. J.R. Smith. I played basketball like I had a bad batch.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Didn't exactly get man, needed some ups, got some downs.
Yeah, he got some sleepers.
Time for some stories to start your morning, brought to you by Ace, the helpful place. Kevin Love had a nice showing.
Hashtag bad batch.
Love had a nice showing in Game 1. That after clearing concussion protocol before the game. He had 21 points and 13 rebounds, and the Cavs lost to the Warriors. CC, how impressed were you, though, with Kevin Love?
Now, this is the only way that I thought the Cavs were going to be able to win is Kevin Love showed up. Now, Nick makes a point, and Jenny, you asked the question, are there things positive coming out of the game? Initially, I said, I don't know about that because Kevin Love has disappointed me so much in the playoffs. Now, if you tell me Kevin Love's going to follow this up with some consistency, I've been like, yeah, he was one of the bright spots, definitely for the Cavaliers alongside of LeBron James.
That shot we just showed was a huge three that he made late in the game.
Shot it with confidence.
Hey, listen, he was very good offensively. Defensively, he wasn't great, and he made a terrible mistake fouling Steph on the and one in the final minute of the game. But overall, listen, this is just the second game all playoffs where LeBron's had a teammate score 20 and the Cavs didn't win the game. Kevin Love did his job last night.
Yeah, he was 0 for 7 before he hit that one.
Yeah, from 3?
Yes.
Yes, but he was good on the mid-range.
Yes, he was.
Good mid-range and good inside.
On the flip side, Kyle Korver saw limited minutes. Didn't do much with those limited minutes on the floor. 16 of them, 16 minutes, just 3 shots. And just 3 points to show for the sharpshooter. What did you think of Kyle Korver last night, Nick?
During last year's finals, people were yelling at Ty Lue, where's Kyle Korver? Why aren't you playing Kyle Korver? We saw a little bit of it last night. He is an enormous defensive liability against this team. So if his shot isn't just falling immediately, it's hard to keep him out there. And see, you pointed something out. He made some uncharacteristic mistakes you normally don't see from Kyle.
Didn't play real smart. Was attached to non-shooters, giving guys pick and roll, backdoor, not in sync as far as 5 guys being on one string there. That part, his defense not communicating was surprising.
Right. He's going to be limited physically. He's got to be right there defensively.
All right, 2 unstoppable basketball forces made for some good old solid NBA drama. LeBron and Steph, who are friends off the court. They had some end-of-game interaction. Just the latest example of why this series has become so competitive. Both these guys led their teams in scoring and assists. Chris, what'd you make of this trash talking at the end of the game by these two?
Man, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Steph was trying to hit a low floater off the backboard. LeBron smashed it, blocked it, wouldn't allow it. Steph was like, man, why ain't you let me shoot that? Let you shoot it. You on the court. I ain't out here for that, man. And get out of my face. You see, Steph was like, hold me back, hold me back.
Who's the favorite in the fight? Both Splash Brothers versus LeBron. Both of them.
Stop, man. You can't pay them enough to do that. You can't book that one. You can't get Bob Arum, Don King to make the two. Man, the fair skinned. No, sir. No, sir. I want no part of that one.
Steph was laughing and giggling. LeBron wasn't in the mood for it.
Clay was just walking around in circles. Finally, with under 40 seconds to play, the Warriors were down by 2 points. Kevin Durant drives to the lane, crashes into LeBron. Refs call it a charge, would have given the Cavs the ball. Then they go back to review it and reverse the call. KD hits 2 free throws and Warriors go on to win. Nick, break this down a little. What'd you see, and did the refs cost the Cavs game 1?
I don't know that I've ever in my broadcasting, whether it's radio or television career, ever said the refs cost a team a game. Because unless it is like the referees allowing a buzzer beater that was after the buzzer,
right?
There's too much butterfly effect, too many other opportunities after a devastating call for teams to get over it. This is as close as you can come, though. And the reason is because I believe the refs broke the rules. And so there were 2 separate instances where KD had the ball stripped cleanly, they called fouls. That happens. Right here, we get block charges wrong all the time. I think they got this one right. If in real time they had called it a block, so be it. But the audience needs to understand what the NBA rules are. You cannot review if something was a block or a charge based on movement, based on leaning.
So even if I have one call and another guy has another call on the field, because on the court, that's what you have with Tony Brothers and Ken Mauer right there. You don't go to it then?
You can't. You're not allowed to go to review there. The only way you're allowed to review this is to see if the player is inside the charge circle. Now, the NBA adjusted the rule 2 years ago that if you're reviewing, if they're inside the charge circle, then you can review all of it. You can say, oh, he was out of the charge circle, but it was a block. That's what the referees ended up doing. The reason I'm saying the referees broke the rules is I don't believe they were actually reviewing if he was in the charge circle.
So you think the play, and initially thinking going there to look at it, and then once they were there, then they changed it based on looking at the rest of the video?
I think they only went to it because they wanted to be able to change it because one guy called a block, one guy called a charge. You cannot see this play in the position Ken Mauer is in and think there is any question LeBron's inside that charge circle. He's closer to the semicircle under the free throw line than the charge circle. Both feet are at least 2 feet out of the charge circle. So that's my problem. I feel like the refs broke the rules, and forget the fact that I think it was a charge and they overturned it wrong. The refs broke the rules in looking at it.
And Mauer was right there, had the perfect angle right there in the corner. I think once he makes the call, he looks up and sees his partner, Tony Brothers, calls something else, calls block. So that's what made them come together.
But you've got to listen. There are times where I understand the referees wish they could change what the rules of engagement are. There are times where late in games when they go to review and they called it the ball going one way. And on review, they're like, oh, it's going the other way, but only because the guy got fouled. The referees are not allowed in real time to say, you know what, we're going to disregard that, give it to the other. They have to go with what the rules are. And the referees here, in my opinion, broke the rules. Ken Mauer, Tony Brothers, nobody thought LeBron was in that charge circle. And the only way you're allowed to go to review is to see if he's in the charge circle. So should LeBron be upset? They were going to be up 2 with the ball with less than 40 seconds remaining. Of course he should be upset. Everyone should be upset. Ty Lue says we were robbed. An anonymous Cavs player said Ken Mauer bleeped us. LeBron seemed devastated by it. All these things are legitimate.
But do you think that's why the Cavs lost the game?
No, I'm like Nick. I don't get into the refs winning and losing games. Fans, I believe, go to extremes because they like to make excuses for their teams winning and losing. Unless it's the last play, things happened after this that were more critical than that call. All right? The Cavs had an opportunity. LeBron's got the ball. He hits George Hill. He gets fouled. He's at the free throw line. The game's over with. He makes another free throw. They get one stop. So if you play good, the calls work themselves out. So no, it's not the referee's fault, but it's hard to overcome the referees and forgetting what the score are.
And Jenna, to specifically answer your question, I'm not comfortable saying the referees cost the Cavs the game. I am comfortable saying this. If that call doesn't get overturned, the Cavs win. If it's Cavs ball up 2 with 35 seconds left, they are going to win that basketball game. The reason I'm not saying the refs cost them the game is that call didn't happen the way it should have, and they still had a chance to win the basketball game. They still had an 80% free throw shooter at the line, tie game, and they had the ball with 4 seconds left, tie game, and didn't know the score.
Well, let's talk about why they did know the score. And all the JR dysfunction of last night, let's not forget what LeBron James did. In a word,